Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Williams here again, Monday, and I'm back in school. It's a little bit later today though, unfortunately. We've had no internet in school this morning, so I've not been able to do very much. It makes you realise how much we rely on the internet to get things done. Anyway, somebody's very kindly come out and has mended the internet for us, so I'm now able to record an assembly for you and upload it onto our blog so that you can all share it with me and watch our Monday morning assembly. So we would begin our assembly, wouldn't we, by saying good morning to everyone in our French way. So bonjour tout le monde, and your reply would be bonjour mes amis, bonjour tout le monde. So good morning everybody, even though it's a little bit later. So our theme again that we're still thinking about, and something that we want to carry on thinking about during this lockdown, is the power of practice, the power of what practice can do. The more keepy up is your practice, the better you'll become at keepy up is. The more handwriting you do, the better you'll become at handwriting. The more times tables you practice, the better you'll become at it. So whatever it is that you practice, no matter what it is, whatever it is that you practice gets stronger. So we're thinking about practicing certain acts, practicing the act of kindness, practicing the act of peace, practicing the act of showing love to people. Whatever you practice grows stronger. Practice peace, love and kindness every day. So for our assembly today, I just want to talk to you about a person called Gandhi. Now, Gandhi lived out in India, but Gandhi is well known for his kindness and actually thinking a little bit differently to the way people think. If you Google Gandhi and look on the internet at some of his quotes, you'll notice that he often says very profound things and very interesting and very thought-provoking things that you might not ordinarily think about, or things that make you think a little bit differently. But he was a very, very kind man indeed. And I'll tell you a story. One of the things he did that actually demonstrates just how kind he was, and just how he did think a little bit differently to everybody else. Because quite often we are quite selfish. We put ourselves first. What we want and what we need becomes more important than what everybody else needs and what everybody else desires. I think the way people shopped just before the lockdown started tells us that people were going into the shops selfishly hoarding things for themselves. There was plenty to go around, but some people were buying too much and some people were hoarding things for themselves, so that other people actually ended up with nothing. And it's quite a strange way of thinking, to think that, well, if I'm okay, it doesn't matter what happens to everybody else as long as I'm okay. And actually, we're practicing kindness and practicing love and practicing peace. What we're saying is actually, that's not right. What's important is what the whole community gets together. If I'm winning, or if I've got more than you, that's not fair. Actually, we need to have enough for everybody. We need to share, and that's what good communities do. And the story with Gandhi was he was catching a train, and as he was running for the train, he was wearing sort of flip-flops or sandals, and as he was getting on the train, one of his sandals fell off, and it fell off onto the railway track. But he was going to miss his train, so he continued to run, and he got onto the train with only one shoe, and his other flip-flop or his other sandal was further back. He'd left it behind, and it was on the train track. So, to everybody's surprise, what Gandhi then did was he took off the shoe that he still had, took off the shoe that was on his foot, took it off and threw it back down the track towards the other shoe that was on the railway track. And people said, Gandhi, what have you done that for? Shoes are very precious, because in those days in India, quite a lot of people didn't have shoes at all. So actually shoes were very, very precious articles. So Gandhi had not only lost one shoe, he'd then taken off his other shoe and thrown it down the track. And people were saying, Gandhi, why have you done that? What are you doing? And Gandhi's response was, well, half of a pair of shoes is no good to me. I might as well take off the other shoe, throw it down the track, so at least one person can have a full pair of shoes to wear. And people were astonished by that response, because actually how it was almost as if he'd thrown a £20 note down the track, because shoes were so precious. But it helps us to appreciate that actually what Gandhi did was he thought, well, I might as well help somebody else. One shoe is of no use to me whatsoever, so what I'll do is I'll share what I have and give the other shoe to somebody else, so at least they then have a full pair of shoes. A totally selfless way of thinking. Quite a lot of people are selfish in that they think of themselves and put themselves first, but actually Gandhi shows us that actually we need to put other people first. We need to think about other people. We need to show other people that actually they are just as important as we are, because that's the way the community will get better. So hands together and eyes closed. Gandhi was a remarkable man who had an amazing ability to think in a different way from most other people. He often put thoughts of others before himself, and we can all learn something from his example. Dear God, please help us to look each day for opportunities to be kind towards others. Help us never to be so busy that looking after ourselves that we forget about other people. Amen. So last week I showed you the kindness booklet that is on our website, on the Shine Team website, and I'm just wondering, have any of you thought of kind acts that you can do, or kind things that you can do? You might have noticed it's Mrs. Simmons' birthday today. It was on my bulletin this morning, and I've asked the Year 4 children to just write her a comment on the Year 4 blog, and they are coming in thick and fast. So it just shows people out there, you are thinking of other people. It's Mrs. Simmons' birthday. When it's a big 0 birthday, we always have a celebration in the hall, don't we? We all guess how old the teacher is and what number might be in front of the 0. So when a child is 10, we celebrate that. And when I turn 70, we celebrate that, don't we? But Mrs. Simmons, 50. Happy 50th birthday, Mrs. Simmons. Not really. But we would have a good laugh about that, wouldn't we, in the hall? So let's just think about Mrs. Simmons and say a big happy birthday to her. Show her an act of kindness by popping over to the blog and leaving her a happy birthday message. And let's keep St. Peter's community being the kindest community that it can possibly be. Not thinking about ourselves, not thinking about what we want or what I want, but thinking about others and putting other people before ourselves and sharing everything that we have between us. So have a lovely day. I will be back with you next Monday. I'm in work every Monday. I'll be back with you then with another assembly. But until then, who is ready to learn, sparkle and shine? Have a lovely day.